It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the films of March 24th, 2000. We got 3 films to look at today, so let's go ahead and get right to it. And we'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, Jet Li and Aaliyah in a new twist on Romeo and Juliet, Romeo Must Die. So Jet Li, Aaliyah, and Andrei Bartkowiak saw William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet by Baz Luhrmann and said, well, shit, we can do that too, but this time we're going to have people using kung fu in here. You have kung fu action star Jet Li playing Romeo to hip-hop singer Aaliyah's Juliet. Lee is an ex-cop investigating the murder of his brother, who has ties with the Chinese mafia in America. Aaliyah plays the daughter of the American mob boss. Neither side approves of their relationship, and so obviously kung fu action ensues with a soundtrack by Aaliyah. Of course, we don't know who Aaliyah is, and you might not, because some of you out there might be a little bit too young to remember her. I mean, she was a rising contemporary R&B pop star. She was, at the time, she was considered the queen of urban pop, the princess of R&B. However, she was killed in an airplane crash about a couple weeks before September 11th on August 25th, 2001. She died at 22 years old, but she really was something really special, and it's a shame that the world was too did that to her, because she would have really been she really could have been one of the great musicians that we have today if she was still alive today. I mean, she made a lot of really good songs, and she's not a bad actress in this movie at all, but just the idea that they're doing another contemporary version of Romeo and Juliet after less than 4 years after the Baz Luhrmann film, which is a far superior film, but this is just, it just feels like they're trying to rip it off, and trying to combine it with an action film with kung fu elements into it, I think really did hurt it in the end. I mean, the acting in here isn't terrible. Like I said, Aaliyah's doing okay in here. Jet Li is okay in here as well. You have Isaiah Washington, DMX, Delroy Lindo. Not bad casting overall, but the film overall just feels kind of pointless. It's just there to show off, hey, here's Jet Li doing a lot of action stunts, and here it is with the story of Romeo and Juliet, so we can bring the couples in here, not just the teen couples, but the adult couples as well, because why not? But I don't know. Like, if I had to choose between one of the two, I'd say the Baz Luhrmann one is the better film. This one just doesn't feel like it really amounts to anything overall in the end. It doesn't feel like a film that really gives you what it promises when it's all said and done. Plus, it's Andrei Bartkowiak. Is a guy who is notoriously known for making some of the worst action movies of recent memory. This is the guy that gave us Dune. This is the guy that gave us Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. I mean, great cinematographer, just not a very good director. And it's a film that just feels like a cluster when it's all said and done. A film that really does not feel like it really amounted to anything when it was all said and done. And just kind of like, it just didn't feel like it was something that really was, they really went into it knowing what they were going to do with it. But that's just my personal take on it. I don't remember too much about it. What I remember from it, it's not a movie I really want to watch again, unfortunately. But that's Romeo Must Die. So let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is Here on Earth. Okay, so this trailer really is very confusing on what the hell they're trying to sell you here, but here's the premise from IMDb. The lives of 3 young people, a rich student, a girl from the wrong side of the tracks, and her boyfriend unexpectedly intersect during one fateful summer in Here on Earth. Chris Klein plays this cocky and brash guy who normally would have crossed paths with the residents of a small town near his posh private school, but when he takes a shiny new Mercedes out for a drive, he locks horns with some of the locals, including Jasper, played by Josh Hartnett. As Jasper's willful girlfriend, Samantha, played by Lily Sobieski, looks on, Kelly and Jasper engage in a dangerous car race that turns disastrous, leaving a popular diner owned by Samantha's mother in ruins. Kelly and Jasper are sentenced to a creatively ironic but fitting punishment. They must help rebuild the diner, and not only does this ruin Kelly's summer plans, he also must board at the home of his rival Jasper. Kelly begins to fulfill his sentence, but refuses to have anything to do with Jasper and his parents. When Kelly again encounters Samantha, the attraction is immediate and strong. First love blossoms in the Berkshire Awards, angering Jasper, and do you really care about what's going on here? You probably got lost the second I said is a sentence. Like, this is manipulation at its absolute worst. This is a film that takes 3 relatively good teenage actors at the time. Chris Klein, Lily Sobieski, Josh Hartnett. You have Michael Rooker in here as well. So do you have Bruce Greenberg, Annette O'Toole, Elaine Hendricks. a good cast overall here, but man, this is a sappy-ass movie, and not in a good kind of way. It's a movie that just feels like, what is the purpose of this movie? What is the thing that's supposed to bring people into this film, except for the fact that, oh, you got these teen stars in here. Oh, and you have a single by Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, who were two more popular teen stars at the time. This feels like a really bad WB pilot for a TV series that was blown up for the big screen. And, yeah, there's nothing about this movie that works at all. It feels like a really emotionally driven, manipulative mess of a film. I mean, it's an abomination of a movie. Like, this is the type of film that you would see in early January, early February as one of those movies that the studio dumps. But they put it out in March because they thought they had a winner here, and yeah, simply and effectively, they did not. So yeah, that's Here on Earth. So let's go ahead and move on to our last film, and that is Whatever It Takes. So this is a modern-day retelling of the story of Cyrano de Bergerac. You have this guy played by Shane West, who's a bit of a geek with the eyes for the school sex bomb played by Jodie Lynn O'Keefe, who induces cringing in her neighborhood and best friend Maggie, Marla Sokoloff, who's a cute, intelligent girl. But popular jock Chris, played by James Franco, also has his eyes on Maggie, and he offers to help Ryan with Ashley if Ryan helps Chris with Maggie. So begins a two-headed variation of the previously mentioned Cyrano de Bergerac. Ryan composes soulful emails for Chris, and Chris advises Ryan to treat Ashley like dirt, which seems to be the only way to get her attention. At first, neither finds it easy to change their ways. Chris comes on too strong. Ryan is too nervous to be a jerk, but as they start to succeed, Ryan begins to see Maggie in a new light and wonders if he's pursuing the right girl. He realizes Ashley's not meant for him and tries to convince Maggie about Chris's affections for her. Maggie is reluctant to take him back at first, but then realizes Ryan has a change of heart. So they're kind of trying to do what Clueless did for the story of Emma. Like, they tried to do it for a modern generation, but Clueless had the benefit of a great director in Amy Heckerling and some really good talents with Alicia Silverstone, Brittany Murphy, Donald Faison, Paul Rudd, all those these great actors. But here, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't feel like the sparks are right there. The talent here isn't bad. They have good people in the film, good actors in here, but it's missing that director and that writer to really provide a solid script to give this movie its own its own bite to it, and not look like a film that's trying to be another Clueless ripoff. Because this is only 5 years after Clueless came out, so this is still right around the time when you would get these type of films that were trying to rip off one of the more successful films of the time period, and it's just not worth it in the end. I mean, you don't really buy into the chemistry between the relationships in the film. The writing overall isn't really that strong. There's a lot of good ideas in here, just not the right execution when it's all said and done, and it really does hurt it in the long run, unfortunately. It's a film that could have been something very interesting, could have been something very fun, but unfortunately it is not. It's a waste of some pretty good talents, a good idea, just not the right script, and not the right director to really make it work, unfortunately. So that is Whatever It Takes. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we meet next time, we'll wrap up March 2000 with 4 movies, including DreamWorks' latest animated feature, The Road to El Dorado. We'll also have The Scrolls. We'll also have High Fidelity. And also Price of Glory. So 4 films to look at next time, and we'll delve into those on the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.